Hello everyone, welcome back to Napoleon Total War, the Russian campaign, and we are recording in the new flat, so things may sound a little bit different, a little bit echoey. Might even have to switch between a couple of mics here and there, just until we sort of get the best balance for everything. So I would ask that you bear with me in the meantime while I sort all that out. Hopefully it shouldn't take more than a couple of weeks. I mean, I've got sound deadening equipment and all that kind of funky good stuff. So that, and we've got car alarms outside, which is also wonderful for the timing. To break the immersion of being in the Napoleonic era is the sound of car alarms in the background. So, you know, these are details that we'll skip over. And at least I suppose it's the equivalent of the ice cream truck coming to pay a visit when Mao does his recordings as well. So, you know, these are details that we'll just gloss over. So you can see that what happened in the previous episode is we were going to send our fleet out here, but these troublesome little sods essentially sent our fleet running back to base. Now, the problem with that is the fact that we're going to have to build our fleet even bigger, so we're going to have to make a full stack of fleet. Now, that's going to take quite a few turns to accomplish. That's the problem. Now, obviously, our boys are still, you know, we've still got these guys as well. So this is our fleet that took a little bit of a battery. And we've got this guy here, which is a sloop, which we're using as essentially a sniff out area, or sniffer. And there's a trade ship, one of our trade ships there. So, you know, it's not looking too bad. Now, whether or not, you know, we're allied with Sicily, so we can't really go for that one. So what we're trying to do is use this sloop here to cover this area and just have a sniff around. Now, this gentleman here is on his way back to there. Now, what we're going to do while we're back there is start building up more ships, as you can see. And it's going to be 12 turns, so we might even have to look at the possibility of seeing if we can get through here. So we might need to look at that. Go through here and then through this area here. Now the thing is, I don't really want to put a force into this position here or into this area here because of that fleet. Now where Nelson is, I have no idea. Don't know what he's doing, probably scratching his head and figuring out what to do. So we look at the finances, and the finances are reasonably okay. I mean, we're not doing too bad. The build-up of the large navy is going to cause us a problem. But, you know, these are things that we can sort of... Oh, that music. That bloody car alarm. Anyway, so let's move on and see what sort of thing we've got. Now, obviously, thing to bear in mind, guys, is that I'm still unpacking and unboxing everything here. So there's a lot more. There's stuff that's not on the walls that would normally be on the walls, and other bits and pieces like that. So what it means is that you're going to have a problem with a little bit of echoiness until sort of everything gets moved into place. So our books are in here. The sofa comes in here in June 18th. And loads of other bits and pieces like that. So these are all things to bear in mind, and I would thank you all for not unsubscribing and running away because my audio sounds terrible. You know, I suppose the part of the problem is the other flat that I was in was quite a small flat, and so it was quite enclosed with a lot of stuff to sort of deflect all the sounds and all the rest of it that comes up as a result of that. I mean, you know, this is quite a... This actual front room is about the same size as my other flat, so it's a bit of a new experience. Maybe I need to sort of figure out, do I need to close the doors to reduce a little bit of the echo? I mean, obviously it goes straight through to my kitchen, stuff like that. So, I mean, you know, you guys have seen the video, you know what the flat looks like. So, Random Waffle has now concluded. Now, this gentleman here, working together with Kutuzov. Now, I would like to get Kutuzov up here if we are not going to be able to make it to Spain. But what I'm thinking is maybe if we can't get into the Mediterranean because of that little ship face, maybe we can go into Italy here and attack them. Now, the only drawback is obviously we've got the Austrians who are making a bit of an inroad there to that particular area. And they've got a full stacker there, so it's a distinct possibility we'll need to bring a couple of armies down there. So, now, let's see, where's our... Let's send him to there. And let's send this army to there also. Speed up. Come on, walk faster. So they'll be in there, and then hopefully we can board them onto here and run them up the side of Italy and make an inroad there. Now, that may get us around the problem, and also it also means that we can use Italy as a jump-off point to get in towards these areas down here. So we've got to vary up the strategy just a little bit in that regard. There's a lovely, lovely sound in the background. Isn't that beautiful? Now, what options do we have for getting these guys into a port? Not much by the looks of it. See, I'm just wondering on what's the best route to do there. So can't do anything with that one. That's a wine estate. And that gentleman's going into there to pick up that army. Now, who is in there as the navy? So we've got a trade ship. Okay, so we'll just move that trade ship over to there for the moment. Now, the reason we do that is we don't want that trade ship in with the rest of this navy here. So, we really need also to enlist an admiral. So, yeah, that's quite expensive. Now, how much are we getting next turn? Yeah, we're getting 6 grand next turn. So what I might do is get an admiral, put him in the Anapa, the fleet of the line, or the ship of the line, I should say, and have him in as that navy commanding. And obviously here's our little sloop, which is in the process of sniffing around and doing things. So, and there's spices, which is bound to be popular. I'm not sure. Let's see, can we get... Because if I remember rightly, didn't one of my trade ships get murdered as it was in this area here? Let's put him into there. So that's more coffee coming from the edges of Africa. So, yeah, that's what we're going to look at doing now. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the turn. And we're going to find out what happens. So there we go, there's Paris. And, oh, yeah, the French are really giving the Brits a hard time there. And now you can see, yeah, more Austrians moving down. Don't go for Italy, please. Oh, you buggers, they are as well. Well, I suppose if I charge my troops in there, then what it means is that I'll be able to essentially get them as allies in helping me with the battle. So, you know, that can only be a good thing as far as I'm concerned. So, we'll just have to wait and see how that turns out. Now, Okay, so, building. We have built a drill school in Little Tatari. Now, if I'm right in thinking, that enables us to recruit loads of stuff. It also enables us to do more research as well. So, that's researched. So, it enables us to research all of this stuff down here as well. So, ambulances, increases replenishment, ground battery, carcass shot. Let's go for ground battery there. And let's go for carcass shot there. Now, this guy here could probably do... Oh, he's already being upgraded to a classical uni. So that's fine. We've dealt with that issue. Now, let's see. There's the navvy. Into there. And then army. Bosh. Bosh. Clonk. There we go. And then we shall enlist an admiral. Now we're going to go for, see, +4, +2. Let's get Ushakov up the top there. There we go. So there's Ushakov, our admiral. Now, let's see, because we are now going to send our navy up to here. And then we shall disembark them in Italy. Now, the line infantry, cav, all that kind of stuff. So, that's good. And then what we can do is bring additional forces from here with Kutuzov. And we will send him over to there. In the meantime, we'll put them in there to keep them happy. So we can use both of those guys to get in there. So that's what, 1, 2 turns to make it over to there. So that'll be fine, because by the time these guys have up here have disembarked, then we'll be in a position to do more things. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, gold mines in Italy, that'll be helpful. But to be honest, based on what I can see, I don't see that we're going to make it there before the Austrians. But it could be that we move in as supporters of the Austrians, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, we've gone up there. So we are going to send our little sloop to clear the fog of war around this area here. Now, let's send him up to here. So that's a nice little area in Corsica that we could consider taking, because that will give us a lovely jump off point. But then it's also a single point of attack. It could be that we move Kutuzov to here, and then we've got the ability to attack the base of France, the likes of Marseille. But at the moment, we're just going to use that little sloop to sniff around the area, clear the fog of war, so we get a better idea of what's going on around there. So that's the general direction that we're going with that. Now, if we look at... okay, so we got 2,377. I'm not going to really spend any money at the moment. Now, let's have a look at infrastructure. No, we don't have enough for that. Let's go through and check. Okay, we'll do that one. See if any have got any standard roads. Matolo. See, that's Moldova and Bessarabia. Let's update that one as well. So we can just generally improve movement ranges across the board. So we're not really going to need to do anything else bar that. Obviously you've got great estates that we can get. And, you know, replenishment, -1 happiness. Let's see how the policies Now you can see here that the lower classes are relatively happy because the tax rate is at an all-time low. Now I could bring the tax rate even lower. See, they're not happy. Little Tatari. It does give me more money. Ah, screw it. Let's keep the tax rate low for the lower classes. And put it right up to high. No, I couldn't do that. Let's do it there. So in that regard, it's not too bad. Let's have a look at our trade. Our trade is good. Protectorates, no. We got plenty of trade partners. And let's go to our Diplo. Find out what's going on in the world of Diplo. Now, anybody in here? So, the Latvian Republic, which is up there. And obviously the Kingdom of Italy, which is going to be wiped out quite soon, I reckon. And obviously the major nations, which will be España, King's brother of Napi, and there's the French Empire. So you can see the French Empire starting to push in there. So if we can get in here and start taking some of these areas here, we got to be careful because we're going to get sandwiched between France and Spain there. So that's something that we got to consider. Now, do we have any ability to trade with any other? No, because these basically they can't trade because they don't have a port. So there's not really much we can do there. Let's end the turn. And we'll follow to see what's going on. Now, what are they doing? They're in the centre of France, just below Paris. Damn it. Oh, is that the... Oh, that's my sloop. Yeah, it's my sloop. So you'll retreat, but he'll probably die. Because every time these guys sail away, they always follow them all the way. Oh, God, really? Oh, no, he didn't. I'm shocked. I'm shocked and surprised. My ghast has never been so flabbered. I know, what's he thinking, eh? Anyway, so... Here I am, surrounded by loads of boxes still. And there we go, the British Army go over and kick the French Navy out of that particular place. I see. Okay, yeah, as I thought. So we got some constructions, classical universities, stud farm, that's clearly where I live, and other stuff. So now let's get over to Italia and let's get these guys deposited. Now we're going to send those guys there, and then is that our sloop? It is our sloop, okay. And then we'll send this boaty goodness back down to here. Now these guys we shall send over to here to see if they can sniff out the fog of war with that beautiful music in the background. Now, one thing I am thinking about doing is changing from this condenser mic to a like a Shure SM58 vocal mic, which may be better for picking up background noise, or not picking up so much background noise, but we'll have to wait and see. So a few experiments got to be done in order for that to work, but at the moment I'm still using my old condenser, so you know that'll have to do for the time being. Now let's see. Okay, so you can see there the trade's all in place. Here's my little clearing sloop. Obviously that's the area that's the problem. I would like to take that just to give me some more visibility in the Mediterranean. it's possible that that's what I can use this army that's on its way over here, Kutsov, this fine gentleman here, who's on his way over to the port just outside Greece and the Spartan wine estates. It could be that that's where we're going to send him, so we can reduce the eyeballs that are being focused on us here. And he's building that as a trading port. Okay. What we could do is build that as a war port. So it essentially builds all the stuff we want to. And then we can literally push out in force in the Mediterranean. But the point is, we have landed in Italy. So we're going to go after that group there. And we are fortunately allied with these guys. So let's send this guy as Spoy in that general direction. So he can sniff around. And you can see that they don't have a lot of troops there, just the basic set. And there we go, look at that. It's the French Navy being held in by the Austrian Navy. So I'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Now, okay. Let's think. Diddly-do, diddly-do. Now, we do have a decent amount of money here. Now, if we get a factory, -2 happiness for industrialization. Let's put a factory in. And I love this music, it's so nice. To be honest, the lower classes always seem to be unhappy no matter what happens, so, you know, what can you do? We've got to keep up with the times, so to speak. We've got to keep moving forward as a country. We can't really worry about upsetting the serfs, so to speak, just because they don't like industrialization. Get with the times, he says. So, let's end the turn. And then we shall attack the Italians. Ah, indeed. Here we go. Here's Kutsov making his way over to the port in Greece. Oh, that's a nice little shortcut. That's very helpful. We got some more French coming down through the centre of France, just below Champagne or Champagne. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. Oh, what do you know? That navy is a real problem. Yep, there we go. He's straight after him, and he's dead. And there we go. Yeah, that navy's a big problem right now. And he's going after that one. So it's basically hitting my trade all over. Thank you, you dicks. Ever so slightly annoying, but never mind. Okay. So let's see. Ah, the Prussians. As I've been watching the Prussian campaign with Mal on Empire Total War. Very enjoyable it is too. Always fun to watch. Oh, it's Denmark-Norway. Or Norway-Denmark. Aha. A gentleman has been recruited here. Now, is that an intellectual? It is. How many's in there? Get in there. Okay. Now, let's have a look. Ancillary has been gained. A minister for Alexander the First. Okay. Now, fleet destroyed. Fleet destroyed. Fleet destroyed. So that's going to hit my trade. Something rotten. I mean, I've lost about 2 grand there as a result of that. So here's the drill schools. Merchant houses should help with money. agent recruited. And he's now in there as well. So, what we're going to be doing then is, what's this? Supply warehouse. What can we change that to? Market. See, that gives replenishment in that region. I'm not sure about that, because that is kind of good. Yeah, but it's only that region here, isn't it? It's not this region down here. Because that is there. Let's do it anyway. Okay, so. Trading company. Ooh, how lovely. And we need limited liability company, LLCs. Ah. So you can see there, trade routes, improved export capacity, trade values, -2 unhappiness from the lower classes. God damn it, they're always unhappy. What's new? Curse those lower classes, as I'm going to move the microphone a bit closer to myself. Oops, as he knocks it. Very professional, Chad. Good job. Okay. I bumped into my nose. YouTuber problems, eh? Right, so what we need to do then is we need to build a new ship. And it needs to be just this little sloopity. Carronade frigate. Oh god. Well, I can build these massive ships of the line. I don't want that. So what's the Indiaman? Oh, it can defend itself in need. Okay. Well, we don't need to worry about that, to be honest. But let's see, can we navally... No, we can't navally recruit there because they're too full of doing stuffs. So 50 carronade frigate, Indiaman, merchantman. Oh, for God's sake. Right, now let's send this guy back down to here. Now that should be our friend Kutsov. Which it is. And he is going to get on the ship. Like so. And then we are going to send the Navy to Corsica. So I want to keep him going up the edges of Italy. But I've got to be careful because of that roaming fleet that causes me problems. It's the thing that's making me nervous. Especially as all my trade ships are being killed in this area here. And the travel period time of that guy is quite significant. No, I can't get across there, can I? No. Okay. What's that one? Coffee. Okay. Let's steal this guy. Just send him there. And then we'll just build a few trade ships and use them as scouts. So hopefully they'll act as a sort of I don't know what the word is actually. They'll act as a bait essentially So let's see how we get on. Ah, more love. Bitch. Don't go after him. No. I'm going to lose Kutuzov, aren't I? Bastards. Son of a beach. Well, it was a risk, and it's a risk I shouldn't have taken, so I've only got myself to blame. God damn it. So at least we got the general home. Abolition of slavery, good. Agent has been recruited. Where? Is that gentleman? Yes, it is. Okay. Heroic death. We've lost our admiral. The Kingdom of Bavaria has arisen. And there we go. So, the attempt to build the navy has been somewhat unsuccessful. See Daddy? Oh God. Let's have him. At least Kutuzov hasn't been lost. He's been returned to the fold, so to speak. But, thanks to these dicks, but they've lost their navy significant numbers. But I do hate fighting naval battles. They're just shit in this game, I'm afraid. Now, let's carefully move our boy forward. Interesting. Well, precisely. Let's move into there so he can help out. And maybe we can take it off him. That would be very helpful. Right. So hopefully, now that the French Navy has essentially been broken by that battle, as you can see, they've lost a significant number of ships there. We may be in a stronger position, generally. So let's send our trade ship around the place. See what's around. Send him down there. We still need to clear this area here as well. But I lost that goddamn army as well. Son of a bitch. So, we can recruit what here? We can do £6 horse, good. So we'll do 3 £6 horse. 3 Jaegers. And our fine musketeers. Now, we'll probably go in for dragoons as well. So we're rebuilding that army now, essentially. Now, let's have a look here. Because we've got this guy. Way the ball's over there. Where's that guy? Okay, so he's there. And how many people have we got in that uni? We've got no one. Okay. So this gentleman can go there. So he'll wander through Greece and make his way over there. Now, let's see, because you've still got that army there blockaded. If we can get these guys close enough, they'll be able to help out. Maybe we can steal it from under their nose, or to be honest, it might be better for us to go past and take out that. Now, let's look down here, shall we? And see what options. That's a commercial centre. Down towards Marseille. Let's go down towards Marseille, shall we? And see if we can find out what's down there and what things we can do to those poor, unsuspecting individuals. Anyway, I think that's going to end it for this week, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of Napoleon Total War. And we'll be back at you with more next week. I hope you've enjoyed. Cheers, everyone. Take care.